International presents Heart Talks. Heart Talks Live at hearttalks.online. And here she is live. Sheila's sister.
Good morning, peeps. Welcome to Heart Talks. I'm Sheila Jean Berger, or better known as Sheila Sister, and we're here today with our comeback Keegan Reid. I'm so excited to have you here on the show. Keegan and I had a show here last season on the Forest People, and I wanted to get everyone caught up on all the things that have happened since then. It's not, there has been just experience after experience for me and for Keegan as well. So I thought we'd get caught up. And Keegan, thanks for taking time this morning to share.
Pleasure to be here.
Did you called me at 5:55 this morning? Did you know that? Did you plan that?
Nope.
Good timing.
As they say, early bird gets the worm. So.
Well, so much has happened in so little time. It feels like we're not even the same two people as we were last show.
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
Well, let's start off with how has your relationship with the Forest People, how has that grown?
The activity has been very consistent. In the beginning, it was still pretty consistent, but I wasn't exactly sure how to interact with them, to really begin to develop a process of, are we communicating, or, what's going on here? Are we just moving stuff around? I'm moving stuff around, they're moving stuff around. What does this mean? So it's been kind of a process of trying to understand how to communicate without words and letters and a lot of language. So I've had to take a look at ways of trying to interpret what they're trying to tell me through various different methods. So that's something that's changed a lot. But they've been very consistent. I still haven't seen them yet, but they're around. I mean, they're clacking rocks and doing tree knocks, and they're just very present when I go see them. I can't think of a time that I've gone out and they weren't around. So. Right.
And have you been going to mostly the same place? You have your special place?
I had a couple of locations, but mostly I go to one that has become very special to me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have gone out camping several times in different places and bring back my photos, and they've all been with me. And seriously, my relationship is strong enough that I can ask and receive their presence. Although I have not seen them with my eyes, I see them through the camera. But mostly I feel them. I feel their presence. And because I have, I think it's because of the relationship I've established, one that's in honor and love and respect, that I continue to get results and feel that my relationship has certainly become stronger on my part. Their part has always been there. It's been a matter of my trust, my actions, my opening myself to them. So, you had started the Sasquatch Bigfoot research group right as kind of we had done that. Done that interview, and oh my God, what has happened there?
1,400 members so far.
1,400 members. And I have met some amazing people who had amazing things to share.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been an educational thing as well, because I've had photos and didn't even know how to see them in my photos.
Yeah, all of it seems to be a process of becoming more aware. Like, I'm not a real big photo person. Like, the Sasquatch have a tendency to show up a lot of times blurry, and that's because of their vibrational frequency is different than ours a lot of times. And if you move your hand fast in front of a camera, it's going to blur, and their frequency, their vibration is faster, higher, so they're going to show up blurry in a photo usually.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the ones that I like are the ones where they're actually slowing down their vibration and they're getting ready to come into our reality, our dimensional frequency. And those are more clear. I prefer to look at pictures where I can see their eyes, see the shape of their eye structure, and see their brow, and I like to see their nose. Those are pictures that I prefer. Seeing a blob doesn't do a lot for me, personally. But I wanted to speak to something that you said today that really did kind of resonate with me. I went out this morning before we had our show, before we did our interview here, and I wanted to just go connect. I just have been going out and just singing to them and talking to them, and I play. We really started playing. One of the things that was really interesting today is they created a huge X right by where I park. And so there must be a boy there, and he showed me that he's a pretty big dude. And I was pretty amazed. In fact, I have that photo if you want to see the X. This was just there today. Let me see if I can locate it for you real quick.
Yeah, share because you do have some wonderful photos.
Let's see here. Yeah, this was kind of exciting for me. There it is. So here you see this giant X.
Okay, can you click on that and make it bigger?
Yeah, how about that? Is that better?
Rachel, is that better?
No, double click it. It's not showing.
Oh, I got you. 1 second. Let me stop share. Try this again. I got it now. How's that?
There you go.
There we go.
Okay.
Oh.
So there's this huge X right by where I parked, and that was these trees were kind of there, but the X wasn't there. So they made an X right by where I parked. So that was pretty cool. Let's see. Now, well, so I went out and I was kind of just, talking to them, and I've been setting up kind of a little play area, actually.
Right.
And the play area has been something that's been fun because they're actually showing me a few things. I brought out some toys for them. I brought out some little tabletop kind of gaming toys, like World of Warcraft little figures, like an elf, a dinosaur, and a panda dude or something. And I just thought, if there are any little ones, they'd probably like to play with toys just like we do. And so what I did, let me see if I can find this picture. I want to show you what I did initially. Now, what I did initially was I kind of brought this out, and I set up, there's like a kind of a heavy plate rock there. Can you see the picture?
Yes, I can. I love this picture.
So there's a little panda guy right here. There's a little Y stick on a leaf in the middle. There's a couple of those are actually pine needles that I made to look like the structures that they make, sometimes in my yard, sometimes out in the woods. So, and you see that I made a little circle of rocks around it, so I'll take that off now. So that was interesting because the next day when I went back, they had changed it dramatically, and I was really kind of amazed by what I found the next day when I went back. So let me see if I can find that one for you because it's really pretty neat. Second.
You know, that's what at the groups. I am so enjoying the pictures that everybody's posting over there of their gifts, and they'll set out their gifts. They have everyone's got these gifting areas. Set out their gifts, and next day, or it depends, days maybe go by, and go back and look and find the gifted area has been changed, or so there's been some kind of connection to it, and that is play. That is a wonderful thing to do.
Okay. Now I have it here. One second. I'm still getting used to the screen share thing, but I'll get it. Okay. There you go. My computer, it's a little bit slow, but I still love it. Okay.
You know, at the group, at the research group, we're very we make it clear that only those who have respect and love for these entities are welcome to that group, and we've got a lot of people watching that site all the time to make sure that it stays in respectful mode. And I want to do a shout out to all the folks who are the administrators there who are helping keep that all nice. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so you saw that circle of rocks that I had on it the day before, right?
Right.
Okay, so this is the next day. The next day, all the rocks have been moved off the top. This yellow leaf that you see there, it's actually tucked under the black rock. And if you see the black circle on the upper right, that's where I found the little panda guy the next morning. Now, the yellow leaf is something that really was curious to me. Now, I'll take this off and I'll show you what happened next. I went back to take a look at this yellow leaf because I was like, well, that's kind of weird because there wasn't a leaf there like that when I went there the day, when I set it up the day before. So when I went back, I decided to go ahead and pull this leaf back to see what was under it. There were 3 rocks underneath the yellow leaf that was tucked under the black rock. Can you see that?
Yes, I can.
I found that to be very interesting.
Yes. And for those who have not started gifting or have had communication, and leaves and rocks and moths, these are gifts, and unless you have that connection, a rock and a leaf might not be a big deal to you, but in the world of communication, it is a huge gift.
Big deal. Okay, so this is really going to blow your mind. So normally I change it and I set it up before I go out the next day. Like, whatever they set it to, I'll rearrange it to whatever I want it to look like. But this time, I left it. I left it alone. And I wanted to see what they would do with it if I didn't do anything to it, right?
Mm.
I go back the next day, and this is what I find. Now, take a look at this picture. You see the black rock there?
Right.
The little panda guy, I did take the panda and I set him back up on top of the rock. That's the only thing that I did. He was laying on the side. Well, they added another leaf. Now, that green leaf is there and that yellow leaf is there, and they're both tucked up under the black rock, okay? And they laid the little panda guy kind of under the rock on the leaves. And what I think they were essentially saying to me, I'll go ahead and close that now. What I think essentially they were saying to me is that we sleep under a cliff. We sleep underground. And I was really moved when I saw that, because when I first gave them these three toys, this little elf guy, this little panda guy, and this little dinosaur, um, the next day that I came out, after I gave them those three, they took two of them. They took the elf and they took the dinosaur. But the panda guy was still there. Now, I was thinking about that. The panda guy kind of looks like Venom, sort of. You know, it's a panda man. I thought that was interesting. But what they had done, this black rock, by the way, it's about 5-6 pounds. I mean, it's pretty heavy. It's a pretty solid rock. And so they had taken the panda and they had tucked him under the rock. The rock was laying on top of him. Like he was sleeping under the rock is sort of what I got from it. Well, now they've kind of done that twice. Okay? And the second time they kind of made a bed with the leaves and put him under there. And I thought that was really amazing. So today, what I did is, because I've gotten sort of used to some of their tree structures and I'm trying to communicate to them that I really love the stuff that they do and I'm really identifying with it, I created, let's see, I'll show you what I created here. I created a little setup that was sort of fun. I'll bring that in now.
And Keegan, isn't there a cave or cliff?
Yeah, there are caves on the property that
Right.
where I'm at.
Which is what makes that significant.
Can you see the picture?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so what I did is I made a little teepee, because in my area they make a lot of these teepees.
Right.
And I left the little panda guy, but I stood him up. Then I made a little circle of stones like it's a little fire. And then on top I put a marble that I had out there, and then I just laid some other leaves, and I put all those little rocks that were there on top of leaves. And what was really cool about this particular thing was there, you can't see it in the picture, but there are two Y sticks. Y stick is a Y stick is what I have left out there to identify, hey, this is Keegan. Keegan's been here. And so what they've been doing now, when I go out to the trail, my trail that I walk to get to where my gifting area is, there's a ton of Y sticks there now. So they're leaving a bunch of Y sticks. Now, even when we play, they're putting Y sticks near the things that we're playing. So it's really very beautiful.
Yes, it is.
So I really kind of got touched by that, and I think it's a young one or young ones that I'm playing with, but heck, it could be an adult. An adult may be having a great time interacting. But yeah, it's been really cool. I've been bringing out like popcorn to them, and I bring when I have extra money, I'll go to like a farming supply store and I'll buy a big bag of whole kernel corn, and I'll buy a big bag of inexpensive sunflower seeds, and you can get like a 50-pound bag of this stuff for like less than $20. I mean, and the whole kernel corn is like less than $10 usually. So less than $30, you can get two 50-pound bags of stuff that's edible for them, and you don't have to, break your bank at the grocery store, to get stuff for them. But I still bring them out apples, and bringing them a bag of popcorn, I pop it right before I come out, and it makes a nice aroma, and they love it. I mean, they love salt, so anything salty like chips or anything, salt's something that they don't get a lot of out in the woods. So that's something that I try to provide for them. But yeah, it's been incredible. Since the last time we talked, there's been some really interesting things that have gone down. I had a yellow UFO show up in my backyard, just outside my backyard. It was just an orange orb, and it flew across the sky, and it stopped right in the sky. Couldn't tell how big it was because I couldn't tell how far it was. I couldn't tell if it was near or if it was far. It's just an orange light. And then I was looking at it, and I could sense that it was looking at me, and then I kind of got a visual picture in my mind of Sasquatch people. Of course, that's the first thing I thought anyway.
Right.
But it was kind of, I was a little scared at first because I haven't had an interaction like that before. And to be quite frank, I wasn't expecting that I would ever have any kind of UFO experience, really, ever, because I had never really seen UFOs before. If I did, I didn't pay attention to it. I mean, I really haven't been looking for it. all of this is new to me. Like, I was never like a UFO, junkie or, a Bigfoot guy. I just wasn't. This wasn't stuff that I did.
Right.
So at any rate, then it telepathed to me. It said something along the lines of one sentence: "We are here for your benefit," and it just sat there. And I'm looking at it, and it's looking at me, and I'm yelling at my wife. I'm like, "Honey, can you come out here real quick?" She's on the computer playing a game with her headphones.
Oh,
I'm like yelling, "Hey, come out here!" So, at any rate, I had to go in and get her. And I get her outside, and I'm like, "Do you see what I see? Yeah, it looks like an orange star. Never mind. Go back in. So I sat there, and, I'm just staring at this thing, and it's staring at me. And I'm standing there a couple more minutes, and I started smoking a pipe tobacco just for the hell of it. So I got my corncob pipe, and I'm looking at this orange UFO, and I'm like, now what? Now what do I do? I guess go inside. I don't know, are we done? I just didn't know what to do.
right.
I just went inside. I looked for a couple more minutes. Neat, UFO, go inside. There's no protocol. You just don't know what to do. Hey, cool UFO man. Hello. It's really nice to meet you. And this is my backyard. And inside, my wife's name is Gayla. So, welcome to Earth. But no, what do you do? I just didn't know what to do. So, I just went inside, and so that was kind of interesting. That was an interesting eye-opener for me.
Well, okay, and there's another point that I clump it together and say forest people, but I'm fully aware that there's lots of entities, and they can show themselves in many ways. Orbs. I just showed a bunch of pictures where it's orbs and fuzzy things, and you could even pick out some of the faces in mine. They're all. I don't mean disrespect when I just say forest people, because it really does include so much.
Yeah. Well, we don't know who or what they're in contact with. I think that it is reasonable that there are various variations of them, just like there are variations of us. Who's to say if they even know their true origins? Because we can't really say that we absolutely know our true origins. And so, a lot of it gets speculative, even when you get into the psychic stuff. And, it's kind of like, well, you're going into the deep, deep past. Well, there's a lot of interpretation that goes with a lot of that stuff. Mm-hmm. So, I just try to keep an open mind, keep an open heart, and it's neat to know, but is it necessary? I don't know. Not really. What's important to me right now is beginning to learn how to form a relationship with them. And Karen Wilkins, she lives in Arkansas. She takes a lot of pictures of, she lives right above the largest quartz crystal deposit in the world, which is in Arkansas, southern middle Arkansas. And she lives down in that area, and she takes pictures, and she actually did a sketch of the female Sasquatch that's in my area that I've been interacting with. So I want to share that, because that's really cool. So let me show you what this looks like. I nicknamed her Bella. And so here's Bella.
Oh, very nice.
And that's kind of amazing that Karen went through that went through the trouble of making that. But she must have really felt a strong connection there to go through that. She whipped that out in the morning, and I thought that was incredibly amazing, and it was very touching.
Wow.
And I want to show an example of one of these stick lifts that just happened on my path in the past few days. So here you go. This stick lift had been there, but you see that large branch across the top? That branch is about 8 feet long. Okay, so it's a big branch. And that big rock was not there before that's up against that big branch. But these other three branches that are kind of facing the same direction somewhat, I guess you can see those.
Yes.
Laying across them, well, that top branch was brand new. And if you look, the branch is broken on both ends.
Right.
Okay? So the strange thing is I was thinking, I often see the little stick glyphs, but it'd be cool if I could see a big stick glyph again. I went out that day after I had that thought, and I'm telling you, this is the very top of my trail where I walk in. This is one of the first things they want me to see. And they showed me that they moved a big branch for me.
Wow.
Now, it's very incredible, stuff like this that's happened. So it seems to me that once they get connected to you, they really care about what you want, what your expectations are, and they want to try to meet that. And it's just like if you fall in love with somebody or if you really care about somebody, if your child comes to you and says, "Mommy, I want a peanut butter sandwich," you make that peanut butter sandwich with joy. You're like, "Hell yeah, I'll make you a peanut butter sandwich. That's awesome." And I think it's kind of the same thing that they love us, and they're actually very thrilled to meet us, kind of with what we're hoping and what we're wanting to see. And I've got a lot of gifts from the Sasquatch people, just as you have gotten some gifts that have totally staggered me. But I'm pretty proud of the ones that I got. So let me show you this little collection of gifts that I've collected so far from interacting with the Sasquatch people. And I want people to understand what's neat to them may not be what's mainstream in our society, but this is pretty cool.
Oh, I love that.
So you see that there are some feathers on there, and there are some rocks, and that little Y stick. I think I probably mentioned this in our last interview, but I just take a look. There's some candies. They actually gave me some candies, and I have no idea where they got those, but they gave me these candies. The Y stick at the bottom, though, is something that was pretty amazing to me, and this is something that I still really treasure. In fact, I broke it and I glued it back together because I didn't want to be disrespectful. But what I did is, at the second area that I go to, I went out and I meditated next to a teepee structure. That's kind of why I made the little teepee structure today, because it's kind of a special place. And I was meditating, and for about 3 to 5 minutes, these little pieces of branch and bark started pelting all around me. None of them hit me, but they were landing all around me. Like maybe, I would say over 2 or 3, maybe 3 to 5 minutes, probably a couple hundred of these little things were landing all around me. Okay? And I mean, just little pieces of stuff, but they were landing on the dead leaves. I could see the stuff like pelting and landing, and it was amazing. I kept looking up, and nothing was falling out of the trees. It was coming out of nowhere. Well, I had already been through the process of leaving a Y stick at some of the stuff that they make. Okay, like saying, "I'm trying to learn. Here's my Y stick. I recognize this. I'm learning, guys. I'm trying to just let them know that, hey, I'm just here to learn about you and to be your friend." Well, the last thing that landed when they were, all I can say is like manifesting out of the air. This stuff was, what's the word for that? I forget even. But this stuff was just literally coming out of nowhere, manifesting. And this little Y stick is the only thing that hit me. And I was sitting Indian style, and it hit the end of my shoe. And I was like, first of all, I was stunned that something hit me. I was like, oh, whoa, what's that mean? And I looked down, and it was a Y stick. And I was like, wow, that is blowing my mind. And as soon as that Y stick hit me, it all stopped. It all stopped. All of it. So I'm like just going, what in the heck just happened? I've never had anything like that happen to me before in my life. I didn't imagine it. This really happened. This is real stuff that really landed around me that I couldn't see where it was coming from. I mean, it sounds like schizophrenia to the max. But I'm telling you, it really truly happened. And that's just like, still staggers me to this day. So, all these people that think, that the Sasquatch people are a dumb wood ape or a monster that's out in the woods, I got news for you. They're amazing. They're amazing beings. The dialogue really needs to change. I think that, I started understanding Sasquatch since I was on the show. I don't know how the hell that even started, but Christopher Jacobs, I talked to him and I said, maybe we should start a show. He's like, let's go. Let's do it. Like, oh my God, here we go. So I just started it. And now it feels like something I've been doing for years. Like it just feels very natural.
Yeah.
And so that seems a little unusual. And I've been learning a lot through that process. But the thing that I've realized is that there are people out there that want the Bigfoot to be a wood ape. They want it to be a monster. They want it to be a dumb monster, a dumb wood ape. And the reason for this is because, this is my opinion, okay? So this is speculation because I really don't have anything to really base this on other than anecdotal evidence, okay? But I'm going to give you my theory here, and I'm going to give you a Cliff Notes version. But essentially, there's money in the lumber industry, okay? There's money in the logging industry. There's money in land industrialization. There's money in land commercialization. First of all, people aren't going to want to move into an area where they know that there's some big hairy monster out in the woods because that's what everybody portrays them as. So kind of what I feel like is happening here is there's an agenda because it feels like a lot of people that are out there on the web, they want to paint. In fact, the largest organization in the United States for the Sasquatch people, Bigfoot, is the BFRO. The BFRO is strictly a North American wood ape group with like 80,000 members. Now, I went on their group on Facebook, and I had been watching Finding Bigfoot. I started to ask myself this question. This is before I really knew anything about the nature of them and got to know them. And I was like, why do they never talk about any of the other unusual, fascinating stuff about Bigfoot? Why are they constantly a monster? Why are they constantly a dumb ape? Why? So I went in their group on Facebook with 20, 30,000 members in it, like a lot. And their official group has like 80,000. And I just said, do you think it's morally ethical to not allow people to talk about the high strangeness aspects of Bigfoot? Do you think it's morally ethical to shove North American wood ape or monster down people's throats? They banned me for asking the question. Now, in their rules of the group, if you talk about anything high strangeness or anything unusual, they will kick you out. In addition, all the reports that the BFRO have acquired through the years, which are many, anything that talks about orbs, telepathy, anything high strangeness, they kick it out, or they don't add it to the reports. Okay, so that's weird to me. All right, and this started to upset me when I started thinking about it because I was like, well, hold on, this means because Melba Ketchum did DNA evidence that determined that the Sasquatch people are at least half human, female DNA, and another unknown hominid type, whether it's from a different dimension, whether it's from a higher ascended type being, whether it's a relic hominid, it doesn't matter. It's an unknown species that we don't know where it comes from. She got money to do this. A lot of scientists looked into it. Nobody's willing to put their name on it outside of Melba because they're going to get blackballed. They're not going to be able to get a job. They might lose their job. People aren't talking about what needs to be talked about because they're too afraid of being ridiculed. Now, the BFRO, they're not talking about the fact that the Sasquatch people are these amazing beings. Why? Because if they are half human or if they are this intelligent, loving hominid species that's out in the woods, that is a problem. That's a problem for the people that are in the logging industry because they're not going to be able to go in and mess with that environment because people are going to want to protect that environment. The only way that they can keep logging, the only way that they can keep doing industrialization is to have a group like the BFRO in place, like 80,000 members, and it's a dumb wood ape. Okay? But if people understand that it's a human and it's an amazing being, they're going to want to protect it. Well, guess what? That screws up commercialization of property. That screws up industrialization of property. That screws up the logging industry, and everything goes south. And let me tell you, rich people don't like people to mess with their money. Okay? That's why you, the listener, don't know about long-term habituation with people that have had relationships with these beings for like 50 years plus. They don't want you to know. And they have people in place that are out there saying these people are kooks, these people are nuts, these people are screwballs. Guess what? That's the real truth, that there is a potential for loving relationships and friendly relationships with these beings. They don't want you to know that. They want them to be a monster. They want them to be a dumb wood ape.
Right.
Because you don't protect a dumb wood ape.
Right.
Well, you might. Some people might. The fact is, you're not going to make as strong of a case. But a lot of people have turned in DNA for Sasquatch or Bigfoot, and they instantly come up with this. Oh, that's human hair. I got news for you. They're human. Part us, at least half. So when DNA analysis comes up and they go, well, this is human DNA, they're human. Okay? The mystery is no mystery. The mystery is only being kept a mystery because people are being put in place to make it remain that way. The dialogue needs to change. The dialogue hasn't changed. The truth still is not getting out there. There are people out there that are like, oh, let's go Project Go and See, and I can show you the trees, and I can show you this, and I can show you that. What they're not talking about, they're not talking about forming a relationship with them. They're not talking about them being human. They're not talking about the fact that you can be friends with them. They're just talking about footprints. They're talking about trees. They're not talking about what matters. Nobody's talking about what matters. I am. I'm talking about what matters. Because if anybody tries to flip me any shit, I'll tell them to go to fucking hell.
There's passion for you right there. That is exactly how I feel about it. And it is what makes me so grateful that I went past all of that and straight into relationships. I've been having relationships with the masters for a very long time. This is no different. I've been having relationship with trees and the water and all the elements, and this is no different. And thank God, Rachel, thank you, that we have Heart Talks here to let this information out, that there is this loving relationship to be had. And I'm going to be doing more shows on how to do relationships because maybe people just don't know how.
Well, they don't talk about it. Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do, Sheila. I've been trying to just teach people the basics of how they can start forming a friendship with them. People think that they need to see them. You don't need to see them. It takes a long time to build the trust to be able to see them. A lot of times it takes many years before you get to that level of trust. Stop worrying about whether you see them or not. But please, go ahead. You're right on the right track.
Right. Well, Keegan, I thank you so much. And thank you for being just so honest and passionate about this subject, because we both know how to our hearts this is, how important it is that we keep letting people, we got to teach them how to have these relationships, how to open up to this, and to let go of all that superficial stuff. And you talk about how we're doing that to Sasquatch. Aren't we kind of being treated that way ourselves from the elite, from all the knowledge? I mean, they've been trying to dumb us down forever, and it's not working. So
People are Sasquatch friendly. Are you? Are you friendly?
Right.
Now, are you loving? Do you have a humble ego? What is your intention? Are you a dumb redneck that's going out in the woods toting a rifle wanting to kill you one of them Bigfoots? Because if you are, they're probably not going to like you. If you are, they're probably not going to want to get to know you. Okay? And if you have a loving heart and you go out there, let me tell you, your life will change when you begin to make friends with these beings. My heart has become, it's just changed my life, man. Like, it's incredible. I have so much feeling when I go out and I go to that gifting area and I interact with them, whether they're not sitting directly there with me or not. The fact that they've been there and the fact that they're trying to show me, oh, well, here's a little bed for the guy. He kind of sleeps under a cliff. The fact that I go out and they keep their distance and they clap these little rocks together, let me know that they're there. They do a wood knock, a single wood knock, or they're making owl hoops, or they're making crow sounds, or strangely a bird is circling right up above me. These things end up being meaningful to you once you begin to get down this road. And believe me, when you start caring and somebody starts talking about wanting to kill them, oh, I want to kick their ass. Like, I just want to grab them by their throat and beat the living hell out of them. And, quite frankly, the dialogue needs to change, and that's what's not happening. And I hope that more people will watch this show and begin to go, hey, well, maybe I'm going to go try this. I'm going to go try to form a relationship with them. Do it. Find an area. They're all over the world. They're everywhere. Anywhere there's trees, go out to an area where a lot of people don't go. Even in parks, they're there too. It doesn't matter. Go to a patch of trees where you can kind of be alone. Bring some kind of food gift with you, something preferably, I think, that smells really good. Definitely something that you like. They generally like about everything that we like. I mean, they're part us. At least I believe them to be based on the evidence that's been gathered so far. And just leave the food. If you want to interact with them, you can do some stick lists around, just symbols, square, triangle, X. Come back the next day and see what's changed. If you want to leave trinkets, you can leave them around the gift stump, but you can also hide the trinkets. You can hide them around because they'll know where they're at.
Right.
They'll know where they're at. People won't.
Right.
Bigfoot will.
Right.
And when you go back to those little spots, they'll be changed in some amazing way. And you're going to be scratching your head going, wait, somebody saw me come out here and they're just fucking. But that's not the case. It's Bigfoot. They're paying attention. Be respectful when you go into their area. Don't go looking for them. Have a picnic. Bring a book. Play an instrument. Sing a song. Read poetry. Whatever. Whatever makes you happy, whatever will hold your attention, go out and do that. Okay? Make them be interested in you. Be the Santa Claus. Be their Santa Claus. Go out there. Bring them a gift. Be joyful. Make them little, like in Lord of the Rings when Gandalf goes to Hobbiton and all the little kids are like, hey, check it out, Gandalf's coming. And he throws up, the fireworks go off. And the little kids are like, ha, ha, ha. They're having a great time. Be that guy. Be that person. Go out there. Go out there to be a blessing to them.
That's right.
And I promise you, they're going to be around. They're going to want to know you. They're going to want to know you because you're not hunting them. They're going to want to know you because, wait, he's not worried about he or she, not worried about some big monster in the woods. They're actually thinking about fun, loving, cool stuff.
Right.
This is different. Wait, what are they doing? What's this music? What's that? That's cool. They love singing.
Yes.
They love singing because their vocal cords are different than ours. So when we sing, they love that. They really love singing. So sing. Get a Native American flute, wooden flute. Go out and play that thing. Go learn how to get a recorder, whatever. Get a kazoo. I don't care. Whatever. Have fun. Read a book that you've been wanting to read. Read an entire series.
Yes.
Go out. Relax. Bring a bottle of wine. Bring stuff for lunch and give half to them. Give half of what you're having for lunch to them. And just watch how much they're going to be amazed by you and love you to pieces. Now, not all Sasquatch are good. Just like humans, not all humans are good. If a Sasquatch has seen people coming out in the woods, killing animals, doing drugs, drinking, being assholes, littering in the forest, hurting other people, men yelling at their wives, wives yelling at their husbands, being mean to their kids, abusing their kids, they're not going to like humans. They'll let you know if they don't want you around, trust me.
Yes.
They'll let you know. And if you get a sign, now the first thing is, a lot of people don't understand this. One of the first things that happen usually if you've never had an interaction with them is your first experience will be scary. It's kind of like a shamanic initiation. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to hurt you. If you know you're an asshole and something scary happens, you better fucking run. Okay? But if you're a good person and you're out there and your first experience is scary, this is what happened to me. I ran out of the woods that day. But I went back the next day and I was like, I'm not going to be scared out of these woods, guys. I don't care if I defecate all over myself. I'm going to hold my ground. I want to get to know you.
Right.
They respect that. But that's a rite of passage. That is truly something that is significant to their culture, I believe. That is my opinion. This is my opinion. Speculation, people. Speculation alert. But don't be surprised if your first interaction with them is not scary. But after that, then you're going to have amazing experiences. Be open-minded. They can telepath. They can mind speak. I haven't got the mind speak except from the orange orb so far. They will interact with you with stickless. They will interact with trinkets. They will bring you gifts a lot of times. Be sure to ask them.
Yes.
Guys, I'm going to leave you some stuff. If you want to leave me a gift in exchange, I would love that. They will. They will. They'll leave you gifts. Anyway, I could go on and on.
Our last show, we asked if they would give us a sign that they had seen our show and that they felt our hearts, and we both received gifts. You that day, me the next day. So again, I would ask from my heart that we receive some kind of sign that they know that they are in our hearts, and that our communication with them is extremely important, and that to share our experiences is done in the intention of opening all hearts. So Keegan, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. And, let's let some time go by and see what else develops.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, peeps, this is so exciting. From my heart to yours, namaste. Bye.